My jam is tomorrow. I've not covered this topic. Let me quickly cover this syllabus again. I know I've covered it before, but let me just do the revision. Let me cover everything again. I don't want to fail. I want to get 300 plus in jam. This will go. Hey, if that is you, then you are very lucky to have found this video. Because let me tell you something. That is exactly what you should do if you don't want to score 300 plus in jam. And let me tell you what you should be doing instead to score 300 plus in jam. Right? So, back to textbooks now. These are the time for textbooks. I'm going to be sharing exactly what you need to do these last few days to the JAMB exam. And if you know that you don't want to miss any of my future videos, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and drop in the comments when is your own exam date. I want to know when your exam date is. Because there's a date that I've told you guys that I don't like that date. So if your exam is on that date, I'll tell you what you need to do. But just tell me what your exam date is in the comments, and let's get right into the video. Now, what should you be doing a few days to the exam? I always recommend resting a lot. It's very important. You need to rest a lot because that's not the time for you to start bombarding your head with a lot of information. You're making you start forgetting things. And trust me, you don't want to forget the things you already know. You might be thinking that you're learning new things, but you're just forgetting what you've learned already. So don't try to cover the syllabus a few days to the exam. What should you be doing instead? What I call final review. You should be reviewing all the materials you've been doing since. So I know tomorrow I will start studying in January. But if you know you're starting to study now, that's very bad, but you should not give up. What you should do now is go to your past questions and start solving past questions and identify those topics that you see that are coming out a lot. I've helped you already to that in my Telegram group. I have area of concentration for each subject. You can just quickly go and cover those topics only. But if I've been studying since January, just focus on revisions, past questions, and if you have flashcards, practice your flashcards as well. This is the time for that. What should you now do next? What you should do next is confirming your exam center. Very, very important. Hey, let me tell you what happened last day. Some people did not confirm the exam center before the exam date, and they got lost because of mistake in the name of the location. They went to go and type in the wrong name when they were using Google to find the location. And because they did not go there before to confirm, when they got to the place, that was actually the wrong place. And by the time they were going to the original place, time has gone already. And the thing about JAMB is that if your time has gone already, like the exam has started before you get to there, do not like to just join. That's just the end for you. And now you'll be praying that they should schedule you. But you can't buy JAMB for next year again. I know you don't want to buy JAMB for next year. Make sure you visit the exam center, identify that place, go there maybe like 1 day or 2 days before your exam day. Especially if you know that you're writing by 6:30 a.m. This is very important for you. Make sure you go there before time so you can identify the place to make it easier for you to locate it when you are writing exam on your exam day. Now, on the exam day, what should you do? I always recommend arriving maybe 2 or 1 hour to your exam time. So meaning that if your exam is starting by, let's say, 2 p.m., come by 12. If we starting by 9 a.m., come by 7 or latest 8. It's very, very important because a lot of things will happen before the exam begins. And what are those things? The first thing is you guys will first wait outside. Yes, you guys wait outside because that was happening to me last year. I was waiting outside, waiting for the people in the exam hall to finish their exams. So when you're waiting outside, you can just quickly do some light revisions, but I don't recommend doing light revisions, but you can just do light revisions. You don't know what can happen. Then another thing you have to do is you just have to drop your items, every single item with you. Your watch, your bracelets, your earring, every single thing with you. Your pen, drop it down. The only thing you are carrying to the exam hall is your exam slip and your pencil. You get. So make sure you drop those things. And there are usually people that are around there that will help you to keep those things for a fee. So make sure you carry money as long because they will ask you to pay money for them to keep your items. And also when you get to there, when you want to wait, there also has to be a place for you to sit down. So those are the people that also provide chairs for you. It's not JAMB that provide chairs for you. It's not the center that provide chairs for you. It's people in the community there that will provide the chairs for you to sit down, or you pay them. So make sure that if your parents can go with you, that would be better. So you just give your parents those items so they can hold it for you instead of paying somebody else. But if your parents cannot go with you, just make sure that you have money with you, like, and pay those people so you can keep your items safe before you now enter the exam hall. So when you're entering the exam center, not even the exam hall now, when you're entering the exam center, next thing for you to do is you have to go and sit down at a location where you guys will wait a bit before you now start the biometric verification process. Now in that biometric verification process, then when you check your pictures, so make sure that you are the one that is in that picture. Because some people like to impersonate the ones that write exam for another person. Some of you, if I know, some of you came to my meeting too, that Prosper, please come write exam for me. They will check your face to know that this is the right person. And not only that, if you check your exam slip, just go to the bottom, that green part you wrote, and the black one under, you wrote something there. They said that thumb print, like the right thumb and the right index finger for verification purposes. So when you're already trained, you did your thumb printing, right? Those thumb printing, you have to also do it again for the exam starts, just to verify that it's the same person that registered for this exam and registered this exam. So make sure that you just go with your clear mind. Don't send anybody to write exam for you. You do jail 6 months. So just don't do that. Right. Now, this is the biggest question many people have been asking me, so I will take my time to explain some very well. So just make sure you wait and don't listen to this one very well. What should you do in the exam hall? Now you have entered the exam hall already. What should you do next? This one is very, very important. You have been asking me, what subject should I start with? Should I start with English, or should I start with my best subject, or should I start with my worst subject? What should you do when you're in the exam hall? Now, let me explain something to you guys. Last year, I was offering physics, chemistry, mathematics, and English. I started with English. So after I did English finish, I went to chemistry, not chemistry, I went to physics, after physics, I went to maths. Last year, I scored 311 in JAMB. So you might say that is a good method, but I feel like it just depends on you. This year, I'm not going to use that strategy, and there's a reason why. Because I told you guys, it depends on you. Some people are very good at calculation subjects. If you are very good at calculation subjects and you are fast, I would recommend starting with calculation subjects. If I started with calculation subject last year, maybe I could have scored higher in JAMB. That's just the truth. If I started calculation subjects last year, I could have scored higher in JAMB, because when I was doing my mathematics, I did not have enough time to finish. So they were rushing me because my time wasn't up. So I just had to just quickly submit like that. But I make sure I put all my answers before I submitted. But as I started with mathematics and chemistry and physics now, these are my strong subjects. I could have gotten higher in those subjects before now moving on to chemistry and English. So this is how I explain to you here. If you know that you are slow in calculation, you're not fast in calculating, and you used to be slow, just go and do English first, then do chemistry. Those ones don't have a lot of calculations. You cannot spend the remainder of your time in the maths and physics. But if you know that your best subject is maths and physics, you are good in those ones, you can score high in those ones. That's what to drag your JAMB score up. Go and start with mathematics and physics. Now, what if you're not a science student, you're not feeling any of these subjects? That is when it now comes to your discretion. What is your best subject? I always recommend starting with your best subject. Why? Because your brain is still fresh. You're able to remember every single thing you know about that subject and be able to answer it correctly. Because one thing about exam, there's something called exam fatigue. And I normally experience that a lot. Meaning that after I've rested exam for like 1 hour, I'll start getting tired. I want to just take a break and rest. But you cannot rest now because just 2 hours for your exam. So if you want your brain to be at the freshest, or your brain is still at the freshest, start with the subject you are good at. When you're not through those subjects, are progressively going to do what you're not good at. So most people, I always recommend to do English last. Why do I recommend doing English last? Most of the time, English is usually everybody's lowest score. Like most people score the lowest in English. So it's better for your time to finish in English, because you might still fail those questions anyway. So it's better for your time to finish in English. And for your time to finish in that's something they are good at. Like me now, my time finished in mathematics. I didn't have more time now, I could have even gotten higher in mathematics. But because of my time finished in mathematics, I was able to get that high. I still got a bit high, but I was able to get that high. So if you know that you are not that good in calculation, I've told you guys before, go and do those English first. But for most people, I recommend doing the subject you are good at already and moving on to English. If you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. This really helped me a lot. I'll tell you guys, I'm telling you guys to like and subscribe. It's not because of other reasons that I'm telling you guys to. It's not because I also have plenty of subscribers, so there's a reason I'm telling you guys to subscribe and to like. But just make sure you do that for me and tell me, after you guys, tell me when you're writing exam in the comment section. I want to know. There's a reason how to know. Just tell me in the comment section. Now, you have picked the subject to start with now. How should you then start answering those questions? There's one thing that I tell you guys, when you are doing questions, always skip those ones you are not good at, like you don't know. Don't waste your time thinking of something you don't know. You see a question, you don't know how to solve it. Even if you know how to solve it, but you know how to waste your time, skip it. Very, very important, skip it. If you know that you waste your time, skip it. Don't just waste your time on a subject that you know that is going to waste your time, even if you know it or if you don't know it. So if you see a subject that doing it, you get a question that is hard, you don't know the answer, you don't know the answer to this question, just skip it. But now, skipping, there's also something about skipping that I tell you guys too. When you are skipping a question, does not mean that you leave it blank and you go to the next question. Skipping means you pick anything there and go to the next question. But you write down that number that you skipped. If you know that you cannot write down the number, then you can leave it blank. But if you know that you will not forget, write down the number you skipped. But let me say, you see a question now, they ask a very difficult question, you don't know how to answer it. Just pick A, or pick B, or pick C, or pick D. Or you can make a calculated guess. After you guys have to make a calculated guess, and I'll still tell you guys how to make a calculated guess again in the end of this video. But you know what I'm saying? Just skip the question and pick an answer there and go to the next one. And when you're through with your exam, then I'll go back to those questions you skipped. You have written it down in your book already. You have written it down. So you just go and start checking. I skipped number 20 in mathematics, let me go and solve it back. Okay, I skipped number 21 in mathematics, then I solve it too. Stuff like that. The reason why I'm telling you guys to pick an answer there instead of leaving it blank is just in case by the time you are through, the time has already finished. You don't have time to go back. So that it's not that submit blank. At least that one you pick might be correct without you even solving it. But if you submit it blank, then you are guaranteed to fail it. You get the difference now. If you submit it blank, you are guaranteed to fail it. But if you pick anything there, you are guaranteed. You still have a chance, like 25% chance of getting it correctly. You get. That's why I always recommend, even if you are skipping a subject, a question, sorry, always pick an option there. But you can write down the question number so you can fall back to it. Now, how to guess. In the exam, I'm sure if you have checked online, you have seen a lot of things about how to study, how to read, how to pass your JAMB. But how can you guess? How can you guess? How can you guess if you don't know the answer to a question? I've figured it out already. Now, guessing is basically what it means. It's just guessing. You're not sure the answer is going to be correct. So guessing does not mean that you're going to get every single thing you guessed. But this guessing method will increase your chances of guessing everything by at least 50% if you do it very well. You can increase your chance of guessing a question correctly by 50%. It's going to be 25%, it can be 50. So it's very huge. So how will you do it? The first thing you do is that when you see a question that you don't know the answer to it, study that question very well. Look at it. Is there something that cannot be the answer? Because most of the time, JAMB will surely put options that cannot be the answer. Like you are sure that this one cannot even be the answer. So first start with eliminating those options first. Eliminate those options that you know that this thing cannot even be the answer. So if it's one option that you eliminated, fine. If it is two, even better. But eliminate those that you are sure that it cannot even be this one. It has to be between this other two. So now you're not okay, it is between A or B. Most of us are in this situation in the exam mode. You're always like, yeah, I'm not sure, is it B or C? Is it B or C? Let me just choose C. Wrong. Don't just choose C. How will you decide which one to choose between B or C? Give yourself a reason. Even if it's a very stupid reason, even if it's a very useless reason, like just give yourself a reason why you're picking B instead of C. Any reason at all that comes to your mind, give yourself a reason. Because for example, now if you notice when you're doing mathematics, for people that are doing mathematics, you might solve a question now, and then you get 17.5. 17.5. When you check options, you're not seeing 200, 250, 1000, and 19. Which one do you pick? Obviously, you pick 19 because it's closer to your 17.5. That's a good reason. You might be like, okay, I got 17.5, just closest to it, 19. I pick it. Maybe they made a mistake while calculating and make it to not get that 19. I make it to get 17.5. That's a way to guess. Right? Don't just pick, if I get 17.5, there's no 17.5 in the option. Let me just pick A, B, or C, or D. Just pick anyone I go on. No. Guess calculatedly, guess intelligently, and you can still get it correctly, right? Getting answer correctly doesn't mean you know it. That's the truth. You might guess something correctly and just because you guessed. So if you know how to guess correctly, you increase your chance of getting answers correctly by 50%. So don't miss out on this information, all right? So what's the first thing you should do? Read the question, identify answers that cannot even be the answer, options that cannot even be the answer. So A, B, C, or D. Eliminate either one or two that cannot be the answer. Then 3, between the two you want to pick, give yourself a reason why you're picking one of the other. Might be like, okay, this one I've seen this thing before, but I don't know whether it's related to this, but let me just pick this one. Or this one is similar to what I got in my calculation, let me pick this one. So give yourself a reason why you're picking the other options. Right? And then to increase your chance of getting the answer correctly by 50%. So after through with all this, you treat your exam, the next thing to do is if you have enough time, start reviewing questions. And I always recommend reviewing questions on that subject that you are good at. So if you are true with that, for example, now me, I'm doing physics, chemistry, mathematics, and English. If I'm true with my subject, instead of me to go and start reviewing English, go and review that maths and physics that I know maths and physics. So let me go and review those ones first. When I review those ones, they can have review the subject that you're not that good at. The reason about I'm telling you guys all these things to focus on something you're good at is that at the end of the day, it's not something you're good at that will drag your JAMB score up. It's not all of them that will increase your JAMB score. If you're a scholar now, all your scores will increase your JAMB score together. But most of the time, like last year, it was maths and physics that increased my JAMB score. So focus on those ones that are using to increase your JAMB score. Try to score 90 plus in them that will increase your JAMB score. That's your goal. So when you're reviewing, start reviewing with those subjects that you're good at already. Right? That's the trick that you can use that will actually increase your chances of scoring high. And if you don't have enough time, then I'm very sorry. Learn time management now, so you can have enough time to review those subjects you are good at already, so that you can get your high score. Very, very important. So if you implement all this I suggested in this video, I'm sure that you will score that your 300 plus. And by God's grace, we're going to score our goal, which is 365 for 400 in JAMB. That's our goal. So by God's grace, that works to be it. So make sure that you prepare very well. This is time for you to review your preparation. Time for you to do your notes, your flashcards, your past questions. Also pray that there's no mishap, because at the end of the day, if something happens to your system in the exam hall, JAMB does not care, you will fail. So pray that nothing happens to your system, everything should go well, and trust me, you're going to do very well in the exam. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and you see me in the next video, probably after the JAMB exam.